this journey's been insane. But it started with a mindset shift in personal finances, from where I went from a scarcity mindset of I could never afford to give, and I looked at it as a debt, versus looking at it as what it truly is the opportunity to impact something outside of yourself. And it is the most encouraging thing in the world to experience. So I love that. And I love that about you. And, even in your company, one of the first things you hit there was like tax and giving and all these things, because I think it's missed. It's missed so often is, when you get to the business world, you're incentivized at a whole nother level for giving, but there's nothing more rewarding from that. So like what, I guess personally for you, how do you tie that into your life, and how, like, the rewarding side of it, and then you get to go in and encourage other people to adopt that, whether it's at North Greenville with personal finances or if it's inside of a business with their business finances. Like, what has that been like for you?
Oh man, it's been the most exciting part of the journey. What you're talking about, what makes me excited is you're talking, man, you're a steward, right? You see it as stewardship. It goes beyond you. It impacts not just the people directly around you. It impacts communities. It impacts the way that you do business. It impacts the way that you're an employer, in all these areas, right? It's impacting. It's through stewardship, giving being this main vehicle by which we're able to show that, hey, no, this is not ours. We are living for something greater, and it impacted me. I didn't grow up with any faith background at all. And, maybe I'm a little simple, or I know I am. Actually, I'm very simple. Listen, I mean, when I opened my Bible and it talked about giving, I was like, man, oh man, there it is. And I was actually, when I'm studying finance, because of what I told you before, why I started studying finance, I then started to read my Bible. I'm like, hey, these things aren't really matching up. I was at a state school, public school, and I'm reading my Bible. I'm like, these things just aren't there. Now, if I put the scripture over this, now I can kind of test out what I'm seeing here. And what I kept seeing was a lot of talk about money and possessions and how that impacted eternity. And to me, it just looked like an opportunity, because what I found was the only place where the Bible said, test me, where God said, test me, is in your giving, and see if I won't open these storehouses of heaven and pour out this blessing on you. And it's not as if a prosperity type, you're just going to get a bunch of money back when you give money, not in any way, shape, or form. That certainly can happen. I've seen that happen. I've seen, prosperity financially, but more so it's about relationship, and it's about community, and it's about spiritual satisfaction, life satisfaction overall as you're impacting people. So we saw it in the business. It was something that I was already trying to do, and looking at companies like yours to say, can I be a part of owning these companies and supporting these companies that are contributing to human flourishing? And then as we developed that, I was like, well, how does that fit in? How does that tie into the giving piece? And the giving piece was really the same way. It's an investment. It's just an investment in a different way, right? It's an investment in eternity. It's an investment in community. And so when we actually started the business, we said, okay, we want to tithe the business. We want to off the top, whatever comes in. And I'll tell you, that's an easy decision when you're making no money.
Yeah.
So tithing on zero, not hard. But when that first check comes in, right, the revenue, and our first check came in after 3 months of doing business. Right? So we have nothing for 3 months. We're living on savings, trying to get the business going, and the check comes in and say, okay, now there's not quite enough to keep the lights on in that revenue, but we've made this commitment. Are we going to do it? And I looked at my business partner, and he's so wonderful. He said, yeah, man, we're doing it. I said, yeah, we are. We made a commitment. We're going to do this. Let's test it out. And the crazy thing was on that day when we said, okay, let's write that check. We'll get that into, we have a donor advised fund. Like, we're giving that, and it's already gone. At the end of the day, we got a call on basically a contract resolution that we had where they said, hey, we want to go ahead and remedy this contract. Let's have a resolution, and we want to give you 10% more of what we agreed to. We think that's a fair thing. And we said, yeah, that sounds pretty fair. That's actually the exact number that we gave away this morning. So again, not that that's the way, but to us, it was such a confirmation of like, yeah, test me this and see what happens. I will provide for you. And so we struggled in the business for many years of just trying to build it, but still remaining true to that, and seeing the joy that brought us in the midst of those struggles in building the business. made everything worth it. It impacted people around the world. And to even imagine we get to be a part of that is the craziest thing to me. Like, we can impact our community in a positive way. For example, we have 3 orphanages we support through a ministry called Set Free right now, just as the business. And we know that every day we're having this huge impact on children in India who are being raised now, given what they need, a home, food, clothes, and education, but also a faith introduction, being raised in the faith. I mean, I don't understand why I get to be a part of that. And that's what giving does. It unlocks a whole different perspective, like you're talking about. It opens up the ability to impact your communities and the world in a way that really, it doesn't matter, my name on anything or what I'm doing. God owns it all. And we just get to be a part of something so
you become
special.
part of the community.
Yeah.
That's what it is, community.